CSS lesson number 7 is about styling links in your web pages. And links are done with anchor tags, right? We've covered that in the HTML portion of the class. So we're going to write some CSS rules that would affect those anchor tags that are in your HTML. The handout that you're looking at right now is posted on Google Classroom. You can pull it up and look at it. There are two ways you could approach this. I want to make sure you understand what I'm requiring here. All you have to do is add some CSS code that's going to change the way the links look. And there are a couple of ways that you could do it. One way is just write a rule. I've got an example right here. Write a rule that would be for anchor tags that would have all of the properties and values that you want for your anchor tags. And here's an example. Now, you wouldn't obviously have to do it exactly like that. That's not what I mean. But this is an example of something that would work. It would alter the appearance of the anchors. Now, there are other ways that you can do this, and this is probably the shorter way for today's assignment. If you just wrote one rule set for anchor tags and you plugged in all the properties and values that you wanted for your anchor tags, and then you check it and make sure it works, then you're good. Now, another way you can do it, anchors actually have what they call different states. This first one right here, the link state, that is, it's an anchor that nobody's clicked on. It's never been used. Nobody's pointing at it. It's just sitting there on a web page, just kind of waiting to be clicked on, but nobody has clicked on it. Nobody's ever used it. Nobody's pointing at it with a mouse. It's just a link. And so this rule that you're looking at right here would just set the color of that link to green. Right? Normally, by default, links on web pages are blue. This would change its color. Now, if you know that a lot of times on a website, if you click a link and then you come back later to that link that you clicked, it will be purple. And by default, that's the color that they use most times, and that means, okay, you've used this link before. It's a visited link. And so what you can do here with this little set, and you see the way it's written, right? A:visited bracket, and then you can set all kinds of properties and values that you want for a visited link. What do you want it to look like when somebody has clicked on the link before? Here we have one that would be for when a mouse is hovering over the link but not clicking, right? The mouse is floating above the link, A:hover, and then you got your brackets. And then again, you could put whatever properties and values you want inside those brackets. In this example, all I'm saying is change the color of the link to yellow. But you could do more than that if you wanted to. In fact, you'll see that today. And then this one is what's called active, A:active. And then you have your brackets, and inside the brackets you would put whatever properties and values you want. Active is at the moment that the person looking at the website is actually pushing down the mouse button and clicking on the link. It only lasts for just a fraction of a second when they actually push the mouse button and the mouse is being clicked. And a lot of times you'll see a link change color at the actual moment of the click, and that's what that is. It's A:active. It is the CSS rule that is affecting an active link. So if you wanted to on today's assignment, you can actually write four rule sets that's for a normal link, for a visited link, for what happens when a mouse is hovering over the link, and what happens when the mouse is actually actively clicking the link. But you don't have to. If you feel like doing it, if you're into it, if you're interested in it, if you want to see what you can do, that's one option. But then you could also just write a rule for anchors, and that would be okay too. I'll take either one. Now let's take a look at a little bit about how this looks when you work on it. I have provided a page for you. This will all be linked up on Google Classroom, and let's just click around the page very quickly right now as it is with no CSS involved at all. There's an H1 heading up here, says United States Armed Forces, a little paragraph, and then we've got a bunch of links. That's what we're going to work with today. So if I click on Army, it goes to this. All it is just the name of the branch of service and like a logo that they use. So there's Navy, here's Air Force, here's Marines, here's Coast Guard, and here's Space Force, the newest branch of the military, and back to the home page, right? So all of these links take you around to these different for branches of the armed services. All right, and you can see the HTML that's doing that. I'm on the index page right now, so there's the HTML that's doing it, and you can look at all the HTML you want. But really, we're going to work on the CSS page. And over on the CSS page, if you click on style.css, you see there is a rule already in place for body, paragraph, and H1. And you can make changes to those if you want to. You don't have to. But here's what you got to do. Right? You have to go to work on, I'm going to pull this over so we try to keep it in view here. You have to go to work on an anchor, and I'm going to kind of combine. I'm not going to do all 4 states on this, but watch. I'm going to go A colon, and then I'm just going to go. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do a colon yet. No, I'm just going to go A and bracket and close my brackets, and I'm just going to put in some rules just for anchor tags in general. So I'm going to start with color, and I'm going to do navy blue, and then semicolon. Make sure, especially if you're going to put multiple properties and values, you have got to. Sorry, just reading things here. You've got to put your semicolons at the end of the sentence. So I'm going to add this. This one we haven't talked about a lot, but sometimes you just have to get in there and discover. Text decoration. I want to set my link decoration to none. And what that should do is take off the underline. Now, it might not update right away. If you're looking over there on the right-hand side and say, hey, this isn't updating, I may have to hit refresh and save or click on the index page to make that work. All right, I'm going to put a border around it. I'm going to say border-style, and I want solid and semicolon there. And I'm going to say border-color. Colon there, and I'm going to go with my navy again. I'm using navy blue as part of what I'm doing here. All right, and I'm going to put some padding around this, and that's another one we haven't talked about a lot, but padding puts a little extra space in there. So I'm going to put 5 pixels of padding. You can try it too. I'm going to put a margin in here of 10 pixels. Keeps them separated a little bit. And I'm going to put a border radius, and I want a border radius of 5 pixels. And I'm going to do a background color of light gray. All right, so none of that has really taken effect yet, but I believe if I come over here and I hit refresh and save, if you look at my buttons now, all of those things that I just styled up just for anchors, I just had to hit refresh and save to make it work. All those things that I've styled up for my anchors are happening. The text is navy. The underlines are no longer there under the text, right? Because I set text dash decoration to none. I didn't want them to be underlined, so I took that off. Border style is solid. Border color is navy. The padding gives a little extra space around the letters before you get to the border. So there's a little padding in there. The margin just kind of keeps it away from the edge of the page a little bit. There's a little margin it shows up mostly on the left-hand side. The border radius, they're curved, right? 5 pixels curved. And the background color is light gray. So I could stop right there. I could be done. I'm not. But I'm not going to do much else. But I am going to show you. I just want you to see, because I think this is cool. I think I like what I'm about to do here, and I think you might like it too. I like it when somebody hovers their mouse over a link and something happens, so that there's a visual cue, a visual reminder, hey, if you click this, right? So I'm going to put in that A colon. It's a new rule over here on the style.css. I'm going to put in that A colon hover. I'm going to start a set of brackets, and I'll close my brackets. And I'm not going to change a lot, but here's what I want to have happen. If a mouse is floating over one of those, they're like buttons now. They look like buttons. So if a mouse is floating over one of those, I would like for the color of the text to change to white. I'm going to do that. And I would also like for the background color, I'll go down here and get background color, colon, And I had it was light gray. It was light gray by default. I got 2 colons there, sorry. Now I don't have any. So I'm going to switch it to dark gray because I'm just doing kind of a, just kind of a switch, just a change to dark gray. Boom. Semicolon, boom. All right, I'm going to refresh and save on that. And now look. All right, if I float I'm not clicking it. That's what hover is, right? If I float my mouse over it, you see a change in appearance. The background is changing to the dark gray and the text is changing to the white. And that really gives the user of a website a visual cue. Hey, if you click this, we're going someplace. This is an active link right here. So if I do click it, I go to Army. And notice that if you look on the other pages, because the CSS is applied to all of the pages, right? Every page, and we'll talk about that in the next assignment. The CSS rules in this case are applied to all of the pages. So it doesn't matter where the link is. I made one set of rules and it applies to every link on every page because I made it that way. And again, we're going to talk about that more in the next assignment that's coming along here. All right, so yeah, again, reviewing. What I want you to do, you're going to take this little web page that I have and put in some rules on the CSS page that affect the anchors, that affect the links. That's your job. And when you get it done, all you're going to have to do is come up here and hit your share button and click the link and copy it and get back to Google Classroom and attach that link, turn that link in. All right, let's roll.